Hey guys. So welcome. Welcome aboard. Welcome back. Welcome home, depending on where you happen to be in relation to this channel and your journey. At any rate, today we're going to talk about Chiron. Chiron is an asteroid, and from the 15th of July until the 19th of December 2021, Chiron will be in retrograde motion, which means that from our geocentric point on planet Earth, he will appear to be moving backward in space from our perspective. Of course, no planetary bodies actually move backward, they just look that way and give us an opportunity to look inward, right? So Chiron, in astrology, in mythology and astrology, is known as the wounded healer. He is a centaur, right? And there's a lot you can read about the story of Chiron. It's a beautiful story. Here's the things that you need to know. Chiron is the product of the union between Kronos and a nymph, Phileria. And Kronos took the form of a horse to rape this nymph. And so while Chiron is a centaur in form, he is not truly a centaur. His nature is not that of the beast that he is embodied within, right? So, the theme for Chiron, wounded healer, right? So let's talk about Chiron's wounds. At birth, he was rejected by his mother. She, as so many stories will tell you, put the baby in a basket and floated him down the river, where he was discovered and raised by Apollo and Apollo's twin sister, Artemis, right? And so here's the thing. He never knew his own father, nor did he know his mother. Those are critical wounds, right? He was raised by Apollo and Artemis, and so he was refined and trained, right? His nature was honed and sharpened. He was taught in the ways of music and medicine and prophecy and archery, and he mastered them all because of his nature, right? His nature as pure animal instinct, right? In that horse slash beast slash uncivilized, right? Being, right? So he was refined in nature, right? Taming the beast, right? He is shown as clothed, right? Not naked in art, where most centaurs are shown naked. And so this is about healing our nature, healing our wounds. So Chiron was a healer, an astrologer, an oracle, a teacher, and a tutor, right? It's said that he taught Dionysus the dances, the chants, the rituals of the Bacchanalia, right? The rites of the mysteries and initiation. And that's important, right? Because those are raw, uninhibited, decadent in nature, right? Right. There's a lot that could be said about that, but I'll just leave it there. Those are raw, unbridled, unchecked desire, right? Instinct. And So if he taught those to Dionysus, that means he had to at least have awareness of them within himself. However, he curbed those awarenesses in order to stay within his refinement, to live his mission, right? So Chiron wounded himself, actually. He gave poison away, manufactured a poison for Hercules to defeat the Hydra, which of course is a beautiful female creature who, when wounded, grows 3 heads back in place of 1. And he accidentally became wounded by his own poison, of course, which there is no cure. And so he ended up having to try to heal himself and teaching people in the process, because he learned so much. And so he spent a lifetime proving himself, right? And never actually healed himself. And in the end, he sacrificed himself and put himself in the place of Prometheus, whose crime against the gods, against Zeus, was to take fire and give it to man, so that they could be a little more like the gods. And so he took Prometheus's place, and his sacrifice is what allowed him to transcend his cloak of immortality, of constant pain and torture and torment, and allow himself to finally be removed from the mortal coil and placed in the sky within the constellation of Sagittarius, Centaurus, right? So let's talk about what this means for us in astrology. So Chiron is in Aries right now, right? This is about self-wounding, right? And Chiron's wounds are all about self-sabotage, right? Where we are used, abused, taken advantage of, where we witness ourselves or believe ourselves to be unlovable or worth less, right? And the way that we develop those and come out of that state of isolation that those beliefs and feelings and experiences bring to us is how we develop our own self-love and self-worth through our sense of duty and service, right? The key is to become a servant, not a slave, to act from duty, not obligation, to be in service, not in servitude, right? And the key, of course, is how do we step out of our isolation and into self-acceptance. The way is through improvement, right? Through accepting the process of improvement, right? Incrementally. And instead of aspiring to perfection, we aspire to improvement, right? And so that concept, that very Chiron concept, especially in Aries, no one can love me, right? Because Aries is that pure, self-focused, energetic, right? Nothing wrong with that, right? There's really nothing wrong with being self-motivating, self-driven, self-defined. But if you don't believe that you're acting from love, then you're not acting from love. And so the question then becomes, how can I love myself, right? Remembering that Chiron was poisoned by the poison that he made. And so how are we poisoning ourselves, and how do we create within us alchemically, right, the antidote to that poison, to that belief, to that wounding, nice, of I am unlovable, I am unworthy, I am worth less, right? I am a slave to this pattern. I am obliged to. I am in constant servitude. No. How do we transmute that energy and transform our experience, right, into I am lovable. I am worthy. I am in service. I am capable of loving myself, right? We accept our aspiration as we walk the path toward bliss in that constant state of improvement, right? And the key here is that we embrace both sides of our nature, right? We express through our instinct. We express through our logic. Oof. We must be both refined and beastly, right? We have to get in touch with our gut instinct. We must become our own remedy, right? And we spend our lives proving ourselves, right? That's what Chiron did. The healing arts are a result of him constantly proving himself over and over and over again to those around him. And that's what we spend our lives doing, right? Constantly trying to prove ourselves worthy of love, of approval, of favor, of anything, honestly, when the fact of the matter is that this is our inherent nature, right? Our inherent nature. We don't need to look outside of ourselves, right? Our humanity and our instinct is wedded within us. We are healers. We are teachers. We are tutors. We are oracles. We only silence ourselves because we believe that we're unworthy. And that is the mission of of Chiron retrograde, this 5 months. And the key here is that Saturn and Chiron are sextile the whole time, right? There are a number of powerful aspects that Chiron makes during this 5 months. Of course, that's just a given. The key here is that Chiron and Saturn are sextile the whole time. So the question of how can I love myself shifts and changes into how can I love myself? Because of course, Saturn is all about creating your boundaries, your limitations, your restrictions, your rules, right? The rules are your rules. They're internal rules within you. No one can set your rule outside yourself if you choose it, based on your power, based on your choice. And so as Saturn is sextiling Chiron through this whole retrograde, in fact, when Chiron moves direct, we are almost at the 3rd perfection of that Saturn-Uranus square in December. So this carries us through the end of the year. How can I love myself? Right, in every aspect, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. How can I create myself, my life, my experience? How can I heal myself through that constant aspiration toward improvement in order that I may love myself within my actual nature, right? Well, look at that. How about that? How about that? I love it. Okay, let's talk. I chose 5 because, hello, 5 months, right? We're doing 5 months of Chiron retrograde. Knight of Cups, Page of Pentacles. So we're talking about emotions and resourcedness, right? So Knight of Cups is about forward motion in terms of emotional balance, right? In terms of love, moving toward what you love, moving toward what you feel is emotional balance, how to express your emotions more fully. The Page of Pentacles gives you that opportunity, right, to pull into that state of resourcefulness. You might experience something brand new. You might experience a way to love yourself in a brand new way through a casual, perhaps just a passing observation someone makes to you, a random sign or synchronicity, right, that deepens your experience, that deepens your emotional vocabulary, that deepens your emotional lexicon, right? Look for every single way. Read your signs. Only you can read them. Use your instincts, right? Always moving toward that state of bliss. We have the Six of Cups. By the way, we have a whole bunch of doubles here. We have the Six of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. Six of Cups is that unconditional love, that pure, very, very pure state of love that you experience with no attachments, no expectations, just pure I love you, right? The Nine of Pentacles is that state of being fully resourced within yourself, this I've got me, right? So whatever this feels like, whatever this moment felt like to you in your life where you experienced love the first time, right? We can't really link it back to mom or dad with Chiron, but you might link it back there. Wherever that has its roots for you, pull that forward. Pull that forward as your I've got this, right? Nine of Pentacles is wish fulfillment. Nine of Pentacles is self-created contentment, right? You have the power to go back and be this love for yourself. And until and unless you are, you can never pull forward into something new. You got to love it before you leave it. That's just the way it is. We have the Eight of Pentacles and the Three of Swords, right? So this is work to get over your wounds, right? Eight of Pentacles is mastery. It's what you do on the day by day. It's how you dedicate yourself and devote yourself to the actual work, right? We know that Chiron was a healer, a teacher. So how do you heal yourself? I mean, this is literally the most Chiron pairing in the whole wide world. How do you heal yourself from your loss, your heartbreak, your sadness? How do you heal yourself? What do you do day by day? How can I heal myself right here? Whatever you do, whatever you create in the day by day, every single day, how do I aspire to improve every day toward that state of bliss? Well, I just do it every single day. Every single day, right? How can I love myself? How can you not? If you're loving yourself every single day. We got a Two of Wands and the Six of Cups. Two of Wands, moving forward within one's passion, right? This is about making decisions. We have that beautiful Aries energy, that Mars pushing forward energy here with that Six of Cups, that unconditional love. How do I make these choices? You make them day by day, right? This is your passion, your heart, your soul, what motivates you, the juice of your life, right? Where are you going to dig your hands in and squeeze? Where are you going to get that juice? Where do you find it? You know where you find it, right? That's the thing. You know. You know. And if you have to climb up the stairs and go around your woundings to get to that place of unconditional self-acceptance, well, I mean, you do a little climbing. That's the way it is. And then finally, we have this beautiful Nine of Pentacles again, and strength. Okay, how do I get to this glorious state of self-contentment? Well, okay, we know strength is about faith in action. Right? Faith in action. Faith in action. Faith in action. This is just how it goes. This is just what we do. This is how we tame the beast, right? And if we're talking about Chiron, how we tame the beast within ourselves, right? This is the inner work versus the outer work. You can tame that beast in the real world. Sure you can. You can try to rest and wrangle your life into order, or you can get your house in order, which means how can I love myself? You know, you can wed your natures and create your own self-contentment through that image and feeling, right? Feeling of unconditional love, what it feels like. And how do you know what it feels like? You know what it feels like because you know what it doesn't feel like. And what do you do when you know what it doesn't feel like? Well, you get your butt right back to where it does feel right. That's just the way it is. That is the logic and illogic of this transit, right? This is about inner and outer. As we go into Chiron retrograde, this is inner work, right? We're not looking out into the world for this. We're looking into our own heart space. That's where this work is. So even though Chiron is in Aries, right? Aries is about the self. And so the question with that strong sextile Saturn, routine, 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 right? How do I do it? How can I love myself? You create the opportunities for yourself every day to dive in. I love myself because I made this choice. I made that choice. You do the internal work. You end up loving yourself so much that not only does it become irrelevant if anyone else loves you or not, but you love yourself so much that you get the rewards of all of this. Now, Amar Fati, let's talk about that. That means to love your life, all of your life, right? You can't create a new life without acknowledging the pain it took to get you where you are. If you're not rolling it all up and blessing it all, then you're not blessing any of it. Right? In order to get back here, you have to love the way you got from there to here. In order to recreate it, you have to witness it and claim it and love it. So we are in, it's number 35. And it is titled Solitude, Loneliness, and Isolation. See, that's funny. Only in quiet waters do things mirror themselves undistorted. Only in a quiet mind is adequate perception of the world. Right? Hans Margolius is the human being that wrote those beautiful lines. So let me read to you about this card. We all need some me time. The family, the job, the groceries, the world, they can all wait. During these few precious moments of escape, they do not exist. I am alone. Only my companions are thoughts. A solitary figure sits beneath a gold-domed shelter, a raised island of solitude that is separate and distant from others of its kind. Their forms are mirrored in the silent waters below. Here, she embraces her solitude, which provides her with purity and clarity of thought. There are no distractions. Her book is empty. There is nothing to read or enter. Only passing thoughts are present, which are released to float gently in the breeze and drift away. While such moments can refresh and recharge our spirits, be wary that by degree or frequency, solitude does not become uncontrolled isolation. If the distance between us and others is extended too far, it may become difficult to return. So again, you're being asked to bring your personal experience, right, in through your own reverie, right, of your experiences. So do the work, dive, right? Dive into those wounds and heal them every day, every single day, every single day. Find the signs and synchronicities, and don't be afraid to explore whatever speaks to you, whatever sings to you, whatever calls you forth, right? Chiron is in Aries. This is Aries work too. So it's that self-work, right? It's about following and finding what revs your motor, right? What gets you going, what turns you on, what tunes you in, and then creating it, right, as your deeper experience. Yeah. You have 5 months. How can you love yourself, right? How can you create yourself as a beacon on the other side of this? How can you enmesh your intuition with your experience so deeply that there is no distinction, right? How can you be in service, in duty? How can you be a servant without being a slave, right? How can you just walk those stairs right up toward bliss every single day? Improvement, improvement, improvement. How can you love yourself? You get to find out. Big blessings, right? One step at a time. That's how you do it. One day at a time. Happy Chiron retrograde.